Welcome to ASX Trading Review, where today we are taking a look at a trade I made on IXR, and we're going to break down the strategy and thought processes that went into making this trade. Let's get into it. How's it going, guys? Ryan here, and welcome to a brand new series that I'm calling ASX Trading Review. And I really wanted to give you guys something new and something a bit more tangible so you can see the thought processes that really go into making a successful or an unsuccessful trade. The point of this series is to basically share with you guys real trades that I've made in the past and go through my strategy from the get-go and then throughout the entire process until I eventually end up selling that stock. So today, the first stock we are going to be having a look at is IXR. You would have noticed that I've spoken about this one a little bit on my Twitter. I've covered it a few times on the channel as well from a technical analysis perspective. And really what I want to show you guys today is a fantastic trade that I did make on this company where I made a nice little profit. And typically with all my trades, I'm always going long. I'm not a shorter by any stretch. So all my trades, I will always be, well, at this point in time, taking a long position. So without further ado, let's jump straight into today's video. So first things first, here is the proof that I actually purchased this stock, and I purchased it on the 28th of February 2022. And you can see on the right hand side that it went through under a couple of values due to the fact that it's split over a few different price points. But on average, I roughly spent 5.17 cents per share on this stock. And you can see settlement date at the bottom and all that good stuff as well. I'll also share with you now as well the sell side of things. So on the sell side, you can see it was less than a month later that I sold it on the 22nd of March 2022. And you can see that the price I sold it at was an average of 6.71 cents. So as you can see, I made a nice little gain on this trade. So very, very happy with that. So welcome into the IXR chart now, guys. But before I get started, I just want to make a point of saying the reason that I redacted the quantities and of course the actual overall value of my trades is simply because I'm not here to brag. I'm here to show you guys that I've made a trade. Here's the original value and here is the value that I sold it at. Whether it's a win or whether it's a loss, it doesn't really matter. It's just proof that, you know, this actually did occur. So let's have a look at the chart now. And if you recall, it was on the 28th of February that I entered my position, and it was at a value, of course, over here of 5.2. So let's just put a little line in place there. You can see that was my entry point, and my entry point was on this date here on the 28th of February. I'm just going to bring this one back in just so we know that is exactly when we started. Now, the other end of the box is over here because this is the date, which is today, 22nd of March, where I actually sold. And I sold at a value of, if you do recall, roughly about here at 6.7 cents. And admittedly, as you can see straight away, I could have got in lower and I could have sold out higher, but I didn't. That is a simple fact. But what was my strategy for this trade? Well, my strategy was actually to sell it at a significantly higher value than I did. I was aiming to hopefully double this stock in price, but that simply did not come into fruition. Now, why was that the case? Well, because the hype behind this stock and the reason that I knew it was going to start peaking was because drill results were due. And when drill results are due and people are expecting them to be good, a stock is going to tend to rise if it is a mining stock, particularly in a space where you've got juniors or explorers. These are major catalysts. So I knew the stock was going to rise. How much? I suppose, over expected it. I was hoping for a 10.5 cent exit, and simply the results basically came out today on the 22nd. We peaked over here, hit a value of 7.4 cents and then started to drop. we did hit a low of 6.5 cents. We bounced a bit, and then I decided, you know what, it was time to exit. And funnily enough, I got out on the day's closing value. Overall, I'm happy with this trade. As you can see, I've made a nice little profit as a result of it. What was the reason for this trade? How did I line it up? Well, I could see we had started to turn on the chart, which I knew was positive. Now, I knew the drill results weren't far away, so I knew we were going to start moving in the right direction. And the indicator that I love to use if you watch my videos is the MACD. And what was about to happen? Well, you can see over here on the 28th of February, we had just hit our first day, of course, of moving down back towards a green period. We peaked on the 25th here in our red, and then we had a little bit less today, so it meant that the trend was more than likely to change. And ideally what I was hoping for, and fortunately what we got, was this cross of the 12-day EMA above the 26-day EMA. Now, of course, I would tend to say what you'd want to do is look for this first, wait for the confirmation of the cross before you buy, but I was feeling confident in this one because I understood the fundamentals that were at play, and I've seen this sort of situation occur prior to results being released. So I knew it was coming. So I decided to pull the trigger a bit early, probably a bit prematurely to be honest, and got in, but it paid off as you can see. And we got in at this floor price over here at 5.2 cents roughly. And then the stock started to trend. As you can see, a bad thing occurred. This worried me. We had the 20-day moving average cross below the 50-day moving average. And for me, that's a negative sign. And I was watching it when that did occur. And basically what I was waiting for was, is the 20-day going to hold up? And the 20-day, as you can see, did manage to hold up. If it dropped below that point, I would have considered exiting, hopefully at or slightly above break-even price, so the price of entry. But fortunately, it bounced off this 20-day moving average and continued upwards. Then it absolutely spiked, and I was hoping today it would go significantly higher. I was hoping it would close in the green, but simply it didn't. Typically, this is something that happens with mining stocks. So you can see that it's going up and down, up and down. Now, as I said before, I was aiming for double. Now, we weren't anywhere near double. We were up about 30% here. So why did I exit? Why didn't I keep holding onto this? Well, let's go to the hourly chart, because the hourly chart was the reason for the exit. As you can see on the MACD on the hourly chart, we have had a cross. That cross indicates a short-term downtrend at least. So I thought, you know what? Let's take a profit. Let's play it safe. Unfortunately, our strategy didn't work, but the key here is preserving your capital. And I was already about 30% in the green, so why not take a profit? There's no harm in it. So that's exactly what I did. And the reason this was such a big thing for me was, if you start to zoom out, what you'll notice on this chart, especially on the hourly, is every time there's a cross, there is a change in the price direction. So you'll notice, for instance, when we had this run over here in January, we saw a cross on the 13th and then it absolutely flew. Similarly, we saw another cross in the opposite direction on roughly around here on the 21st of January, and then started to go downwards. This trend occurs consistently on this stock. And this is a major thing you need to consider when you're looking at TA. Patterns repeat themselves. Focus on the patterns that are occurring. And on this stock, every time you see a cross of these moving averages basically down here, we do experience a change in the direction of the trend. So for me, I wanted to play it safe. This was simply a trade for me, so I decided to exit it. Now, I am obviously now going to be looking for a cross to occur again. That is typically what you'd be doing in this sort of scenario. Whether or not it does occur, not sure, but that is ideally what I'd be looking for if I was to enter this again. Whether I do or not, I haven't made up my mind. There's plenty of other opportunities out there at the moment, but this is, in my opinion, a good stock. And that's not financial advice, that is just my opinion. I implore you, please do your own research. I'm sharing this as a retrospective point of view with you guys. This isn't encouraging you to, go buy this stock or anything like that. This is a trade, a breakdown of my trade on IXR that I've done, and I've fortunately made a profit in this circumstance. That wraps up the very first episode of the ASX Trading Review series. Please leave your feedback in the comments section. I'd love to know if this is something you guys enjoyed watching, if you want to see more of this sort of thing. Now, obviously, I can only make these videos when I am making trades, and I really want to share with you not just the successful trades that I make, but as well, I want to share with you some of the bad trades that I make as well. So be sure to let me know your thoughts down in the comments section below. If you did enjoy today's video as well, make sure you do leave a thumbs up. And if you want to see more of this sort of content, hit subscribe and turn on those bell notifications. I'll leave it there for today, guys. I hope you have an awesome day. I'll see you next time. Cheers.